Hey everyone, Charlie here. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a little while, and I kind of wanted to sit down with you guys and have a little bit of the real talk, as the kids call it, these days about the channel, about what I've been doing, about why I haven't been around. And I feel like I've made a lot of these videos recently, but I don't want to give anybody the impression that I'm not interested in doing YouTube anymore, or that I'm going away, or that I don't care about the channel, that I don't care about all of you guys who take the time to watch and share and comment and like and all that stuff, basically to support me and the channel, because I do. But yeah, there's been some stuff going on, not going on anymore. I feel like I'm pretty much over it, but there was some stuff happening that I want to talk to you guys about, and I want to tell you about some things that are going to be happening going forward that I'm really excited about. So without further ado, without belaboring the point, and I hope you don't mind me drinking a little bit during this. It's coffee, by the way. It's early-ish in the day, so I'm not drinking alcohol, but it is cold here today actually, so just trying to stay warm without having to use the air conditioner. So I think maybe the theme of today's video, if it should be anything, is probably fear. Recently, within just sort of the past couple months, I told you about the accident I got into, and there's some other things that happened both in my professional and personal life that really sort of set me on my ass, one of which I talked about over in the Burrow, which, to summarize the story there, I sent in a manuscript and it was rejected, and that was one thing. Then I noticed that, I don't know if I've met you personally, maybe you get the idea, or maybe you don't, that I'm kind of a person who is always doing something. I like going out, and I don't know, I'm a little bit reckless sometimes. Like I like finding new things and exploring new mountains, or going on trails that I'm not sure if there's actually a trail there, if I'm gonna fall off the side of a mountain. Like, I'm that kind of person, right? But what I noticed is, especially recently, is that I wasn't doing things like that anymore. I wasn't biking as fast, I wasn't running as fast, as being really sort of, how should I say, really a little bit overly cautious about everything I was doing. And that sort of applied to a lot of different things. And then the third thing was I had a relationship end, which, whatever, relationships end, and I'm almost 30. I'm not almost 30, I'm going to be 30 in a couple months. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But I had a relationship. Is this thing on? Yeah, okay. I had a relationship end for a really strange reason, which was basically that I wasn't foreign enough, which is a weird thing to say, but basically that I wasn't fulfilling the expectations that this person had of me to be sort of more different from than I am, how I was. I don't really know, but so I want to talk about all these things, right? And I want to talk about the fear around them and everything like that, but I don't want to make this a 25-minute video. But basically, all these things came together and they made me not want to do much of anything, right? So when the writing thing happened, I didn't want to write, and I don't want to talk about that too much because, again, that's over on the Burrow, and if you want to hear more about that, you can go check out that video. But the thing with this young woman, she's the same age as I am, but I guess she's still young. Then am I still young? I don't know. But with this woman was that, like I said, I'm going to be 30 sooner than later. And I think the thing is, when you get to this age, like if you've had enough relationships, or you've had enough dates or whatever, like it gets to the point where, yeah, you're still gonna be upset if things end. But especially recently, maybe the past year, past 2 years, past 3 years, when relationships have gone south, as long as if the reason is something that I could have done something about, then I'm kind of okay with it ending. And I guess I kind of want to explain the reasoning there, being that if it's something I could have done something about and I didn't do something about it, then that's my fault, and I take responsibility for that, and you move on and you learn from it and whatever, and you try and be a better person in your next relationship, right? But in the case of mine not being different enough or foreign enough or whatever, that really sort of sticks in my craw, and it sort of made me sort of made me think about sort of the relationships that I had and the relationships I was pursuing and things like that. And so at the end of the day, when I was English. So at the end of the day, I didn't really want to have relationships with anybody for about 2 weeks. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to go to work. I wanted to come home, and I wanted to just be by myself, and that would be it. So that's a thing, right? And that again is born of fear of basically of rejection, I think. And then of course the other thing is this fear of getting out and doing things, because I found myself in a place where I was really hurt for the first time in my life, and I didn't want it to happen again, because I couldn't do things like make videos. I couldn't run every morning. I couldn't, like, it was painful for me to put on a button-up shirt, because this sort of motion, this rotation motion in my arm was extremely painful in both arms. And so it's not to say I want to harp on any of this, but I want to point out that I sort of gave in to fear of many different things for a couple weeks, and I hate that. And I've known that about myself, especially now that it's getting a little colder. I really love the winter and love the cold season, but also brings with it a little bit added susceptibility to sort of the darker impulses that we can all sometimes kind of have, I think. So leading into this, and this is all kind of a good segue for something I talked about a little bit during the last video, which would have been the last one, cuppa, was that I'm thinking about doing a new video series on this channel called From Small Beginnings, and I had started thinking about it before I got into the accident. And so all of this kind of plays into it, though, is that coming out of this situation, right, like there's always sort of like a brightness, I think, that comes from coming out of a bad situation, where you can kind of come to terms with things, kind of understand things, and hopefully have some kind of positivity on things going forward. And so yeah, I'm starting today. I'm going to be shooting this new series From Small Beginnings, and the whole point is that I don't feel like I'm living my best life. I keep starting projects and sort of letting them go to the side and going back to them every now and then, or not putting as much work into them as I should. And there's a lot of different reasons for this, right? It's a matter of wanting to do too many things and not wanting to put enough work into just one thing, things like that. So anyway, starting from next, the first episode will be up a week from this Sunday, so it should be it should be the 6th or something of November. That'll be a Sunday. The first episode will be up, and our first episode is looking at the idea of clarity, right? Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, I've talked about almost all of the projects that I get involved in on this channel, but right now, the things that I have going, I have a novel, I have like an online short story website, I have the second channel with Emily of Wikipedia / the artist, creator, author of a new webcomic called Kingdom Come, which you should definitely go check out. I have too many things is the point I'm trying to make, and that's what this first episode is going to be looking at, is trying to gain some clarity and trying to really be honest with myself about what is important for me going forward, so that I can actually make some kind of headway with these things and actually find myself some measure of success in these things that I actually want to be successful with. But that also means sort of cutting some of that fat off, right? So, excuse me. Going forward, we're going to be looking at what it means to sort of find clarity, and hopefully find what it means, and hopefully find what kind of success that can bring. And so that's going to be the first episode of From Small Beginnings. Every week we'll have a new theme. Right now we're looking at about like an 8-episode season, so to speak, anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour long per video, because they are going to be like piece to piece shot, different pieces shot from day to day throughout the week, and then edited together for that one long video at the end of the week. So it's kind of going to be like daily vlogging, but it'll be all centered around one theme and put together for one big episode at the end of the week. So that's something I'm really interested in doing. Now, I also talked about before that. Now, I'm also just realizing that this is basically a one cuppa where I'm just sat in my apartment, so I apologize for that. But one of the things that I'm really interested in doing, and I've sort of mentioned on this channel over and over again without actually doing anything about it, my interest in doing a little bit different videos. I'm really interested in sort of looking at some of the more not necessarily problems, but quirks, for example, that I find when I'm sort of living as a part of Japanese society, on the fringes though that may be. And so the first episode, not even the first episode, but I guess maybe like the first docu-vlog, so to speak, I kind of want to try and get together. And I'm hoping to get this together for next Wednesday, which will be a week from tomorrow for me, is looking at sort of the idea of language disparity. And just to give you a quick teaser of that, living in the States, I grew up always hearing like things like Ebonics, for example, were a sign of ignorance or whatever, right? And of course, then when I grew up and I sort of became more sensitive to these issues and realized, no, it's just a different way that people speak. You know, and for whatever reason, I always thought it was something that was kind of unique to the States, this sort of clash between class and race and things like that sort of led to the idea that Ebonics or urban dialects of English, for example, were somehow lesser. I just thought it was a States thing, but then coming here and living in an area where the predominant way of speaking is sort of like thought of as like a country bumpkin's way of speaking, I found some interesting perspective on the whole thing that I want to talk about, I want to look at. I'm really interested to do kind of like a docu-vlog type of thing on the whole thing. Let's make sure we're still recording because we've been going for a while. Yes, we are. And yeah, I'm really interested in doing that, and it should turn out to be a good thing, assuming I can find the data to support the points that I want to make. Otherwise, I'm just talking out my butt, which I was about to insult somebody. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so those are the two really big things on the horizon. I feel like sorry if that just shook the camera. And I feel like I owe it to you guys, all 1,687 of you who are still subscribed to this channel, who watch my videos regularly, who took the time to leave comments, which I still haven't bothered to respond to because I'm an asshole. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at sort of in the immediate future, because I keep making these sort of big promises, making these platitudes to you guys and not really following through on them. So in hopes of finding that clarity that we're going to be focusing on for this first episode of From Small Beginnings, trying to set some smaller goals that I can actually keep to you guys and grow the channel. And everything like that. Now, last thing I do want to talk about before shutting off for the day, before actually going through and trying to get on with this reboot, is on, not Monday, Sunday, November 30th, Japan time, at 8 p.m. That would be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the States. I'm going to be I want to do like a live movie watching thing with you guys. That's a really weird way to put it, but I got this idea from SourceFed Nerd. They've been doing this thing called SpookyFed Nerd, where basically they use this Google Chrome extension called Showgoers, and everybody can sort of hop into basically what is a chat room, and then you load up a movie from Netflix, and Showgoers allows everybody to sync that movie together, and then you can sort of talk about the movie and hang out while you are watching it. Again, that's going to be 8 p.m. October 30th. That'll be this Sunday. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. You can look at the poll of the different movie choices I'm gonna offer, and you guys can pick which movie we're gonna watch, and then we can hang out, we can talk, and we just sort of connect, because that's one thing I've really been missing, is the sort of community that I built up. Not I have built up, that we've built up around the channel, and so this is a chance to do something good like that. So if you have Netflix, please come and join us. And the movie selection is probably going to be a little bit limited because I'm dealing with Netflix Japan, which is not the greatest as far as selection goes for a lot of things. But anyway, like I said, please follow me on Twitter, or you can follow me on Facebook, and this information will be posted both here and there. And that's all I really want to talk about today. So just to recap, going forward, next Wednesday there should be a docu-vlog about language and sort of the disparity between official Tokyo Japanese and like the country dialect, for example, and the views towards that. One of those country dialects that I sometimes speak a little bit living here in sort of the Inaka parts of Japan. Then the weekend after that, we'll be coming out with the first episode of From Small Beginnings. Before that, here on October 30th at 8 p.m. will be the live stream hangout type thing. We'll do like a kind of a Halloween-y type thing. And then probably in a couple days there should be also an announcement / informational video about the upcoming Kansai YouTuber meetup in Osaka on November 20th, I think it is. So anyway, guys, this is already going to be a longer video, but thanks always for watching. Thanks for your patience with the channel as I've been sort of dealing with some things. I always appreciate you watching. But yeah, please like and share this video if you did in fact like it. Let me know about what you think about any of the things I talked about down in the description below, and I'll see you all very soon indeed. Cheers.